Hey everybody, this is Shay Godwin. I'm a Los Angeles session drummer, and I just want to talk to you for a couple minutes about why you would want to get your custom drum tracks from an online session drummer as opposed to traditional methods of getting drum tracks. In other words, going into a studio and renting studio time to get those drum tracks. There's a lot of fees associated with going into the recording studio on a traditional level. There's a lot of people to pay. You gotta pay for the studio time, which includes the setup and the teardown of the instruments and everything, and that takes time. You're paying for that time. There's often cartage fees associated, in other words, the transportation to and from the studio of the drums and percussion or whatever instruments. Then you have to pay a producer. There's an engineer or engineers. You need their expertise, of course. They have to place the mics properly, get the proper stereo imaging and phase alignment and all that stuff. And then, of course, there's usually staff that clean the toilets and fill the candy basket and things like that. And you know what? You're paying for that too. So you're paying for all kinds of extra stuff besides the drum tracks. A lot of the big studios are inexpensive areas, so there's a lot of overhead there that you have to cover for them to keep their lights on. The main reason to get your drum tracks from an online session drummer is the cost effectiveness. Online drum track services generally have a lower overhead model. They don't have somebody that they are paying to fill the candy basket. If you choose properly with an online session drummer, you can get the same results as going into a big studio for a lot less money. Another thing is that it's not uncommon for people to have to fly or pay for the transportation of the drummer or studio musicians, whatever they're playing, to the studio. That's not an issue with online session drumming. Not all services offer this, but any one that you would want to use would offer the ability for you to produce the session in real time with the ability to listen in real time and communicate via Skype or iChat or some other format. An added bonus to the online session drumming thing is that there's no carbon emissions involved, zero. So a lot of you out there are using drum samples quite extensively, and I definitely understand that because it's there's some good programs out there like BFD. I did the brush samples on the BFD expansion kit actually, and they sound good, and they're good for certain limited purposes, but not so good in a lot of other ways. And I'm going to talk about that in another video that you can check out. You have the cheapest way of doing things, which is the drum samples, as far as getting drums onto your music. Your least musical option, but your least expensive option. The most expensive way is the traditional model of going into the studio and paying for all the studio time and all the engineers and all the compensating for all the overhead that they have to deal with. And then there's the compromise, which is going to an online session drummer where you actually get the results of going into the big studio, but you're paying a lot less. The fees are a lot closer to just the buying software, really. Getting your drum tracks online from an online session drummer is the best way to reconcile your desire to save money with your need for killer custom drum tracks that are played for your music. So I hope that's helpful to y'all, and again, there's more videos. You might be watching this on YouTube. There's more on the eDrum Sessions channel. You might be on the website eDrum Sessions itself. There's more there, and you could be on Rever or a bunch of other things. Feel free to check it all out, and hope that's helpful. God bless and have a good one. See you next time.